Hey y'all, so I'm making my first video with my friend Monica here, who's been giving me some awesome voice lessons and music lessons and stuff, and I just wanted to have a conversation with her about music and about, you know, how it speaks to her soul and how it speaks to our soul and how it has healing properties, I think, and just sort of have a conversation with somebody who actually knows something about music over a long period of time and actually makes it. And you're really talented. And so what do you think about, like what draws you to music? What?
I don't know. I mean, a lot of things now, but I think initially it just sort of pulled me and drew me to it. And over the years, I've really developed. I've been playing since I was like 7, and so that was kind of forced, like music lessons. But I remember even then, like having the most fun. Not when I was practicing other people's songs, but like just
when you were making it.
When I was making up stuff, like that was what was really fulfilling to me about it. The exploration part of it. And so that's a huge thing of like just the exploring of sonic landscapes and emotions that come out, and I think it's a really good self-expression.
So do you feel like you're having a conversation with your body when you're playing music?
Totally.
I think you're paying attention to your emotions.
Yeah, and sometimes it's not even like I know that that's happening either. Like it's just happening. Like I heard this thing about art lately, that it's a projection. We're always projecting our unfinished business onto any sort of art that we do, whether it be like writing or painting or poetry. That there's always an element of ourself that we can't escape, whether we know or not. It's always coming through, and I believe that's like music for me. Like sometimes I don't even know that that's what I'm feeling or what's happening, but I'll write a song and then I can see like, oh, that's what's going on in my inner world. That's what I have to process.
Okay. So you mean like your subconscious or like things that you're not aware of are always being played out? Yeah. Good or bad, or just bad? Just like shadows.
I think everything that happens is good. Yes, even the bad stuff. I think it's, again, I'm just projecting my unfinished processing.
Got it.
Onto these like pieces of music or a feeling or an emotion or a story, something that's relevant to me in some way.
Sure. I have a story for you, and I wonder how it'll like what will come up for you around the story. And I'll just admit, one time I was doing mushrooms. Okay, now everybody knows. And I actually got that we're all rhythm, we're all music, we're all notes, we're all like this, we're all sound. I wish I could, like put it out there in a way that made more sense, like so that people could have more of a visceral experience of what I mean by that. But I think that's only something you can have on your own, like an experience. But what about that might you want to like talk about, or does that strike something in you that resonates?
For sure. Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I mean, I think everything's pulsing and vibrating, and everything is, and that's just it. Right. Like it, we don't know it or hear it but we feel it all the time. I think there's always, and that's what when people talk about like their vibration or their essence, right? I think it's like pulsing at a certain frequency that we can pick up on always, and like music is just another version of those frequencies that we can hear, that we can detect with our ear, with our auditory senses.
Hey guys.
Hey.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Sorry.
We're just finishing up.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you think that that's what, like when people say, I'm picking up on your vibes, like I'm picking up on your vibration of what you're...
For sure.
You think that's...
I mean, totally. On? I think emotional content, emotions have vibrations.
Yeah. Like literal, like it kind of makes it easier to not really judge than vibes, right? Like there's literal like waves that are faster, maybe waves that are longer and lower, but none of it really like has meaning. It's literal, just like vibration.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's helpful when viewing emotions. For me, at least, it's like it's just a frequency.
Exactly.
And we're all frequencies. Everything we do and how we are is a frequency.
It's still going.
And awesome.
Yeah.
You can just stare
actually
into the
better,
deep sea abyss
right.
instead.
What just happened is my screensaver just came on, so we can't see ourselves anymore, which actually I should have started like this. It's way better.
Yeah, it is nice. And then it gives you lots of
Relax.
informative definitions.
I have dictionary screensaver that comes up. Charge of defer. What? I learned so many things from my screensaver. It's awesome.
Cool.
But yeah, well, cool. Well, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's why music is healing, and that's why we are touched by music, and why, for me, to make music is healing, because it's like processing this information or these frequencies of emotions or thoughts that I have, and actually physically manifesting them outside of myself where I can see it. I can't see it when it's in me all the time.
Right.
But when I put it out into a piece or a composition or even a jam, I'm like, whoa, that like, I passed through something. It helps me like really externalize my inner world. And
you're creating something. You're creating meaning out of something that isn't processed too. So it's almost like making creation, making a baby or something. Doing something meaningful with your inner world that is just sort of like kind of just there, like not really. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much magic. That's why I like it, because it's like alchemy. It's like it doesn't exist, and then you create something, and it's a part of me. It does exist, but like when I can externalize it, then it like adds a whole nother dimension of reality. Like, oh, this is a real thing, and like I created. And what I love about music is like I can feel super shitty or down, and it's like my friend, and we work through it and process together, and then I have like something I'm proud of. Exactly, yeah. And you don't have to do it with somebody else. It can be a very private, thing, which is part of what I like about it. And I like too, like I was going to a therapist for a while, and then I realized I was like, I was only getting so far. Like I needed to do something with my body. I needed to and I wanted to make something of it, make some meaning of it. So it really makes sense what you're saying about that. Yeah, it's cool. It's a non-threatening way, especially for kids. I mean, even for adults too, but like for kids especially, I found like I work for a therapeutic music school, My Voice Music, which this is where we are. Cool. But it is like a non-threatening device to get kids to like really own and understand their feelings. Right. And to move through the stages of alchemy, like you said, like to learn how to do that for themselves, which can apply to things other than music. You can move through but those stages of alchemy, which we may not even know the names of them, we're always moving through them no matter what. Yeah, totally. Yeah, and I think it's just such a magical. I think art is just creation is just like so magical, and I think we all have it within ourselves. Like we're born creative beings. Like we create things all of the time. We create our own narratives. We create our own lives, and I just think it's a fascinating part of being human. That I really want to, I love exploring, and I want to help others learn how to explore it, because I think for me, it's like a super important part of my existence here. And it helps me feel meaning, and it helps me feel connected to myself and to the world. And I just think it's the coolest thing. It just brings up emotions, and I love music, Yeah, for sure. I agree completely. Yeah. Cool. Well, is there any other thing you wanted to touch on with this? I like showing people, or helping to show people, and dismantling their idea that they're not a musician. Like, oh, I don't play music, or I could never do that, or that's just not a part of me, and that's a total lie. I think we can be anything we want to be, and music is like one of the core essential components of our existence. Of humanity, right? We understand it. Like, it's in our bodies. We respond to it really well, and if you do that, you can receive it, you can give it, and you can participate in that. So I just want to put that message out there that, like, it's not this mysterious force. It's just a force of play, and, we're all vibes, so we all have access to it if we want. Exactly. We have access to it. We know what it feels like. We know when it feels good, and you have the ability to do that, too. So. For sure. I agree. Like, I grew up not being a runner and playing sports all the time. And then when I was 26, I started jogging around, and all of a sudden I was jogging and running for like 3 miles, and all of a sudden I was a runner, like we can be anything we want to be, really. Totally. Take home message.
I know kids are always like, oh, what does it take to be a musician? I'm like, time. Like, really, it's
Commitment,
a time-based thing. Like, you spend time singing, you spend time learning an instrument, you spend time writing, you're just going to develop it. It's like you spend time running. You just get better at running. Like, it's no different with music. For some reason, the creative arts people are like, oh, no, I have to have this special source within me to start. And it's like, no, we all actually are born with that innate thing. And that's just what I want to, like, get out there is, like, it's totally possible at any time.
I totally agree.
Be musical.
It's not something that you just have to, like, have it. Like, you already have this amazing skill. No, it takes, like, so much work and practice.
Yeah. But it's fun. It's, like, fun work and practice. I don't know. I like, get a lot out of creativity. It can be really a challenge, but, like, God, it's so fulfilling. Like, I think it's just the most fulfilling thing.
And it creates so much pride in oneself, I think.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, I'm proud of myself. Like, I've been practicing for half an hour, you know.
Yeah.
Rather than, like, you know, doing something that isn't so, you know, good for us. Maybe just sitting and playing guitars actually, like, create some sort of sense of, like, self-honor. Maybe.
Yeah, totally.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for chit-chatting with me, Monica.
Yeah, no problem.
We'll catch you later. Thanks for being a part of my vid. All right, bye-bye.